Sorry I'm late. The last AP resection got a bit hairy. She lived.
Now, first up is Paula Burrows. Now, as you all know, Miss Burrows has stage 5 renal failure, and I am taking over her care while Rick is away. Looks like she has had some less than kosher transfusions back in Hyderabad, and she is assuming some very unfriendly antibodies, which means that we are looking for a matched donor.
Anyone likely to come out the woodwork?
You offering? Apparently not. In that case, she is holding a one-way ticket to Dialysis City, which is not a place that anyone wants to visit. Not that Mike and his team aren't filtering with the best. On top of all that, Miss Burrows is currently homeless, so she'll be transferred from here to our friends in social services. And Katie, if I can have you liaise with outpatient dialysis. That just leaves me to give her the good news. Okay, next up is Balraj Singh. Hardline stuff.
You know talking?
Wife used to quote it to me.
You still married?
Working on it.
To what do I owe this little delegation?
Okay. We have reviewed your case at the MDT meeting.
Multidisciplinary team.
I'm afraid the news isn't good. Without a perfectly matched donor, a transplant is not an option. Which means you need to prepare yourself for long-term dialysis treatment. I've arranged for a member of the renal team to come and talk you through it.
Dialysis?
I'm sorry, I don't have better news for you.
I'm sorry. It's the shock. I thought that... Well, you can do so much these days. Work miracles.
Well, if you have any questions, Ms. Naylor would be happy to talk you through it. Right?
Of course.
I assure you, I'm really quite capable of sourcing my own patients in my own research.
But what I am talking about is teamwork. Holby as one big happy family.
Strictly speaking, the project is CT.
CT, Schmeaty. I've read your proposal and you need numbers, so I am offering you my premier recruiting officer.
You're suggesting, Jack?
The dream team. Ebony and Ivory. Naylor and Byrne. Perfect harmony.
Byrne and Naylor. It's alphabetical.
All right, then we have a deal. Leave it to you to fill Jack in, slugger.
Assuming some kind of blackmail is behind this. Photos of our esteemed leader in a compromising position, perhaps?
Or maybe he just thought you could use my help. Just let me see the proposal when you're ready.
Ms. Naylor, we have a transfer from AAU. Mr. Levy authorised it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Evie.
So let me guess. Abdominal pain?
It just keeps getting worse and I've been feeling sick.
Believe me, the feeling's mutual. How many admissions this year?
I'm not sure. 5?
I'll make it 6, but let's not quibble. Guess we better go through the motions. Tender? Oh, well, it looks like we've located Brazil's missing rainforest. I'll put that down before you herniate something. Okay. Well, I'm sure you know the drill, but I'll tell you anyway. I need blood, urine, and an X-ray. And if you feel like walking out at any point in order to get on with your so-called life, then be my guest.
Miss Naylor, your attitude?
We're all friends.
She's still a patient.
Harriet is a munchie. Why do you think her belly looks like surgical Sudoku? It's just a dance we all have to do. She comes in, we waste some more of the taxpayers' money to cover our backs, then she leaves again.
She's in pain.
Aren't we all? Paracetamol, that's all. I want to keep this short and sweet.
As you requested. You might find the stats hard going, but I can always run you through the basics.
I think I'll manage.
It's all yours.
How many patients have you recruited so far? That many.
Matters in hand. Or at least it was, until Michael Spence decided to stick his prominent proboscis into CT business.
Wow. Is it my imagination, or have you finally started to grow a full set of vertebrae?
I should have been consulted, that's
Yes,
all.
you should. But maybe I can help. Although I can see why sticking sharp needles in people's hearts would appeal to Mrs. Beecham.
Well, I'll leave you to it.
Call me paranoid, but I'm not exactly feeling the love here, Joseph.
I wonder why that is.
Harriet Sheridan.
Have you checked this?
Twice. You think there's something wrong, don't you?
You need to keep still.
You were serious this time. The pain's different and the sickness.
When was your last period?
A few weeks ago. They're irregular. What do you think is connected? There's no bleeding. You know what's wrong, don't you?
Yes.
I don't understand. What is that?
It's called a baby.
Sorry, She okay?
I just gave her the good news. She needs a paper bag.
Are you going to be sick?
It's a panic attack.
You sure?
That's what a medical degree does for you. Right, I've confirmed an intrauterine pregnancy. As soon as she's feeling better, she can go home.
And that's it?
She's pregnant. It's not a surgical emergency the last time I looked.
Miss Naylor. Paula Burrows is complaining of shortness of breath.
And?
And I told her I'd tell a doctor.
Well, then I'm told. Mission accomplished.
That heart sounds completely normal. The ECG is fine, so I'd say this was simply a panic attack.
I'm sorry if I wasted your time.
No, not at all. I understand you had some news. This comes a bit of a surprise. Quite enough to trigger a reaction.
Your colleague, Miss Naylor, she doesn't like me.
To be perfectly frank, she's not exactly Miss Popularity herself. Don't repeat that if you want to live.
What the hell is he doing here?
I called him
Oh, any reason why?
because I was unhappy with your attitude and I didn't trust your clinical judgment.
So you wasted the time of a CT surgeon.
Mr. Byrne was more than happy to attend when I explained the situation.
Well, I think I can safely hand you back to my GS colleagues, huh?
Thank you.
She's fine, just a panic attack. But, appreciate the call. Floppy mitchels often get worse during pregnancy, and then there's an ever-present risk of P. Discretion's always the better part of valor.
Thank you, Mr. Byrne.
Not at all, Mary Claire, and I'd really rather you call me Joseph, if you feel comfortable with that.
Of course. Thank you, Joseph.
There you go.
Very good. Positively professorial. Even hints of the old man.
Struggling?
The prose is a little bit obtuse, but I'm getting there.
Well, very much looking forward to your feedback.
And thank you for your help. It's always good to have a second opinion.
Okay, so what about Miss...
How long?
I came to check on her. She was short of breath. I did try and tell you.
Right, symptomatic bradycardia. Looks like complete heart block. No pressure. She's decompensated. I need atropine. Quickly. No, it's still down. Transcutaneous pacer. Go, quickly. I'm going to try percussion.
All right, I got the emergency page. What's up?
She's in third-degree block.
Get Mr. Byrne.
Pacing light, please.
Pressure's at 40.
Softly catching milky.
She's throwing off ectopics.
The wires curled and tickling the tricuspid. Usually just requires a small flick of the wrist. Like so. Let's try for capture. Right, pace at 90. Up at 3 millivolts. And we're pacing.
Doctor,
Yes.
is she all right?
I'm sorry, I can't discuss another patient's care.
Right. Sorry. She must be sick.
Like I said, I can't discuss it.
Jack, my office.
I don't know what she's been telling you.
All right, let's take it from the top. Insulting patients, rude to my nurses, ignoring a request to review a patient that you know to be sick.
I was given no indication that there was a serious problem.
She is a goddamn staff nurse. If she has a concern, you check. And if it's nothing, fine, but you do not assume.
I was on top of the situation.
My patient almost died. My patient, my ward, my problem. You know, I was trying to give you a break with Burns research, and this is what I get. But if you can't handle it...
And I'm grateful.
No, forget it. If you can't handle it, I'm pulling you from it. You know, I really thought you two could play nice, but clearly I was wrong.
I've got no problem working with Joseph.
Then what? Spill. Tell the world, because there's a problem in there somewhere.
Paula,
Burroughs, what?
she's my mother. She abandoned me when I was 12. I never saw her again until last week.
And you decide to keep this extremely relevant piece of information to yourself? And don't tell me that it's complicated. I'm getting that loud and clear.
None of this compromises my ability to
Don't.
treat her.
Do not start with the crazy talk. She is your mother. Hippocratic Oath, paragraph 1.
She means nothing to me.
Well, then that puts her on the level with the rest of your patients. So this is just one big coincidence, right? Of all the hospitals in all the world, she just walks back into this one.
I don't know. I don't know what she wants.
Well, pick an organ, any organ. I'll give you a hint. Starts with the letter K. All right. That was out of line. But don't tell me that that hasn't crossed your mind. You gonna take the test?
Why should I risk my life to save hers?
Okay. Here's the deal. No more contact on a professional level. If there's a problem, it comes to me. And we're gonna keep this between ourselves. This is embarrassing enough as it is. And you're gonna apologize to Mary Claire, and hopefully we can avoid a formal complaint.
I understand. And the research, I feel I can contribute.
No. Forget it. You sort your head out. You apologize. Then we'll talk. Jack, you are too good to let this ruin you. If you let people in, they can help you. Might even want to.